stay connected to our practice, keep our minds right where we are. And a good thing to do for that is the Dhyana Mudra. So we'll get to that after we settle our breath down. So sit up nice and tall, rock side to side, make sure your sit bones are nice and even on the mat. And the spine is long, giving your internal organs plenty of room to operate. So when we're slumped forward, right, nothing can work. So we want to sit up with the core engaged. Inhale and exhale gently. Smoothing out the breath. All right, right in the middle of the week, an evening practice. Starting to deepen the breath. Exhaling, belly button to spine. And so remember, we're keeping our focus on what's going on in the body. So follow your breath as it goes out through the nose, and then observe as it comes back in, right? 2 streams of air coming in, joining into one, and then heading down, past the throat, past the heart, deep into the belly. And then exhale. So just keep up that inhale and exhale nice and deep a couple of times. Start to observe what happens to your energy as you go through these breaths. So when we build energy in yoga, it's a nice settled kind of energy. And we can use it in ways that we want. It's not that kind of bouncing off the walls and I don't know what to do next. Okay, so let's work on our focus. Turn your left palm up and place your right palm on top of it. And take your thumbs to touch, the Dhyana Mudra. So just let your arms relax here. The hands might wind up in your lap. They don't have to be any particular place. Close your eyes for a moment. And just bringing your whole awareness onto your mat. And if you feel your mind start to wander, press your thumbs closer together and let that little bit of pressure remind you to just bring your awareness back. And then soften up when you're ready. Good. And if your eyes are closed, blink them open and bring your hands down by your side. So we're nice and close to the earth here. We're going to turn the palms up, exhale, and then drawing energy up. Okay, we're following the entire movement of the arms here, going up, up, up. All the space in between, down and up, we're following. And then turn your palms out, and with nice long and strong arms, exhale. And feel your fingertips tap down to the mat. See if they get there the same or different times. And again, inhale. What happens here as you start to inhale? And then when you're ready, turning the palms out. Exhaling, clearing out maybe anything that you don't want to carry into your practice. Observe the fingertips as they touch down. And one more nice deep breath, your own pace here. Yeah. Once again, noticing how the fingertips touch down to the mat. All right. Take a nice little breath here. Bring your hands to your knees, and we'll just do some cats and cows, arch and round. So we've got this nice familiar move going on, and it's an opportunity to just see What parts of the body move when you do this? How does that feel? And the next time you're rounded forward, gazing toward your lap, just hold there. And then sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your heart. Lean back, raise your feet, and change the cross of your ankles. Okay, that brings the awareness back. And then come back to seated. All right, so you guys, I don't have to, explain a lot tonight because you've done this, you're practiced yogis, but let me know if you need any, instruction or changes that I haven't discussed. Let's bring the right arm up. The left hand is just gently to the mat. The hips stay grounded, and we tilt over to the left. Stretch that side body. Remember, rib away from hip. And then right arm down and over to the left. All right. And just start taking yourself side to side at your pace. And remember, it's the entire journey that we're taking here. It's not just, oops, I'm on the left and whoops, I'm on the right. It's the whole thing. Great. Everybody's moving at their own pace. Notice how your breath works as you do this. Eventually you're going to be back over to the left and just hang there. Whenever you get there, just hold and we'll all wait. We get back together. Left hand to the left thigh. And we'll take some nice big circles here. Especially reaching that arm forward, out, up, and around. Really extend the spine. So when we release the spine, that helps draw more energy into the body also. And the next time you find yourself over to the left, just stay here. Now bend your right elbow. Your right hand is just behind your head. Inhale, take your elbow back and slightly look up. And now as you exhale, take your right elbow towards your left knee. And then come on back up, release, come over to the right, staying here, right hand to the right thigh, and make your circles. It was very warm out today, so we're starting off a little slower, more cooling, right? Feel that nice long extension of the spine here. Notice what else you feel. Are your hips starting to wake up? What's going on? And whenever you get over to the right again, stay there. Bend your left elbow. Start to take that left elbow back. The heart shines slightly up toward the sky, and then that left elbow heads toward the right knee. And come on up and release both hands to the knees. Let's just sit here for a moment and feel the breath moving. Okay, the breath now has a lot of twists and turns to make. So just take a moment to look at it. Observe it, and go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. All right, so we did what? We did forward and back. We did side to side. Now let's do some gentle twisting. Arms float out to the side. Inhale, long arms. And then exhale, just gently to the right. Let your hands come down. You're going to gaze toward the right. Arms center. And exhale, gently to the left, hands down. Gaze gently to the left. And once again, just side to side. Find your flow here. Find your twist. And we started to the right. So whenever you are next twisted to the right, just stay here. Inhale, lengthen. Remember, we don't use that left hand to tug, but we use the torso to turn a little more to the right. Take your right arm up by your right ear, inhale, and exhale, tilt your whole body over your left leg. So you're in diagonal here. And then come back, and before we untwist, let's turn the gaze toward the right shoulder. And on your next exhale, toward the left shoulder. Yeah, release the neck, and on your next exhale, toward the right shoulder. And then bring the arms up, out, and we twist to the left. Staying left now, inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale without tugging. Maybe the twist goes a little deeper. Take your left arm up by your left ear and tilt your body over the right leg. And then come back. And we'll move the head now. Take the gaze toward the left shoulder. And on your next exhale to the right. And on your next exhale to the left. Come back center, arms overhead, palms touch, hands come heart center, and release, shake it out. All right, we're going to move right into core. I want you guys to watch for a second, and then we'll do hips after that. So when we do core, we're going to be laying down. You're going to have your feet, your heels lifted, your toes to the mat, and you're going to have your arms lifted and your fingertips to the mat. Okay, so we have a little instability here, so meet me down here. We're going into the deep core. So we've got the toes and the fingertips touching the mat. The arms, no other part of the arms is on the mat, just the fingertips. No other part of the foot is on the mat. Okay, inhale and exhale. So we've created a little instability here. Now, just raise your right knee. See if you can start to feel, don't worry, you'll feel more and more as we go. Tap the right toes down and lift the left knee. And tap the left knee down. Now we're going to lift the right knee and let the left arm float up at the same time. And tap down. We're still on toes and fingertips. Left knee, right arm floats up. And tap down. Anybody starting to feel this? Lift, right knee, left arm. We're getting into the transverse abdominis, the very deep abdominal muscle here. Bring the foot and hand down just to the toes and fingertips. Left knee, right arm. And down. Okay, we're going to do it one more time each side before we take a little break. And down. And left knee, right arm. And down. Release. Woo. Let your knees open and close. And then take a couple of breaths. Pick your feet up and wiggle your feet at me if you're starting to feel this really deep. Maybe it's more challenging than it seemed like it was going to be at first, eh? Okay, and let's go back, okay? So we're on toes again, fingertips, all right? And this time, we're gonna keep the fingertips, they're just barely touching the mat here. We're not like pressing in, securing ourselves. Barely touching the mat. Whoa, take both knees up, see what happens. And tap the toes down, keep them lifted. Bring the knees up and down. Now let's add two arms. If this is just not your thing tonight, go back to single leg, single arm. Take it down. and up, float it up, and tap it down, and float it up, and tap it down. One more time, float 2 legs, 2 arms, tap it down, and relax. Whew. Feeling it? All right, let's get the knees open and closing a little bit, little butterfly wings here. Okay? All right, so now we're going to start working the obliques. We take everything back, toes and fingertips, okay? Draw your right knee up and take your left hand toward your right leg and bring it back down. Left leg up and down, and you can start to lift the head and shoulders if that's you tonight. Reach to the toes. Maybe you keep your knee bent and just reach past the knee. That's great too. Either way, legs straight, reach up and across, or knee bent, reach up and across. Shoulders and head come up. If that is bothering you too much, just go ahead and adjust until you're happy. Maybe don't lift the shoulders and head. Can we get one more on each side? And when you're done, that means right hand crossed over to the left. Just start to move in any natural way that feels good to you to release and come back to center. Now close your eyes and breathe. All right. Just evaluate if you're feeling some very deep work just happened in the core. And try and come back to, without moving, come back to the feeling that you had at the deepest work point for you. Okay, wherever you felt the most work happening, try and recreate that feeling in your core without moving. And now let up just a little bit from that deep work. Release a little more. And then release a little more where you're still feeling engaged, but you're not feeling tight or like you're working really hard. That engagement is what we want just all through the day, how we want our core to be engaged. Does that make sense? Bring your legs up, wave your feet at me if any of this is making sense. And by the way, as we wave our feet, we release the ankles and let's rotate the feet one direction and then the other. All right, so as long as we're down here, let's do some nice hip work. And we're going to go into water wheel because it's nice and familiar and it'll give you the chance to just really focus, okay? So we've got hands down by the side and right knee in, point up, flex down. And just really start to notice everything that happens for you in water wheel. Now remember, for this water wheel, we're doing this as a nice hip release. It's a releasing move. So don't feel like you have to make it super muscular. Make it nice, round, and releasing. And the next time your right knee is in, flex your foot. And reverse. Flex out, point up, knee in, and just go. And the next time your right knee is in, just hang on. Keep it in. Either hang on to your shin or your hamstring and let that right leg come out to the side and back. Out to the right and back to center. Now cross your right ankle over your left thigh and bring your legs in so you can get hold of probably your right shin. If that's not accessible, just hold on to the outsides of your legs and move your legs around. Maybe make a circle, go forward and back, release those hips, release those hips. And actually, it's a little bit of a hip cleaning happening here too, not just release, but clearing out the gunk that might have settled in them today and during the week. Now cross tightly at the thighs, and once again, you're going to hold on to your left side with your right hand and your right side with your left hand. And if that doesn't work, just hold on to the sides of your legs and just move around. All right, let's release, unwind, bring the feet to the mat, hands down, water wheel on the left. And the next time your left knee is in, just hug it in, hold it in, and flex the left foot, reverse your water wheel. Now think about, does one side feel tighter than the other as you go through this? So you did water wheel on the right, and we did some additional hip moves. Now we're doing water wheel on the left, thinking about how the left hip feels. Next time the left knee is in, hold it in. Hold on to your hamstring or your shin, left hamstring or shin, and let that left leg go out and back. Now go ahead and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Make sure your left foot is flexed. Yes, good. Hold. Bring the right leg in. Hold on to your left shin. Okay, remember your options. And move around. So we're just keeping an eye on, how does this hip feel? We need that information for what's going to happen next. All right, so pay close attention. And then cross your left thigh over your right. You cross tightly at the thighs, draw in, and move around. And even if you did this last night, does it feel good to do it again tonight? Yes. Yeah, you can't do this too much, can you? All right, so let's release, unwind, and bring both feet to the mat. Gently let the knees open and close, and come back to center. Now, if you had one side that feels significantly tighter than the other, you're going to do 8 water wheels on that side. 4 forward. Yeah, let's do 4 forward and 4 back. And then if you feel like your sides are super even, then do 4 water wheels, 2 forward, 2 back on one side, and 2 forward, 2 back on the other side. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so you're either going to go one side or you're going to go half and half. Ready and go whenever you're ready. So if you're doing 2 sides, you're going to go 1, 2 forward, 1, 2 back, and then switch sides. But if you're staying on one side, you've gone 4 forward, and then you go 4 back. We're just giving that tighter side a little extra, and release the foot down. Whew. All right, let's hug the knees in for a moment and just rock side to side any way that feels good. And come to hands and knees. All righty. So anything we do on hands and knees, you could do at a wall, okay? you could do on a with your hands on a chair, but make sure the chair is against a wall so it doesn't slide out from under you, especially when we do Sunbird now. So the knees are under the hips and the wrists are under the shoulders or slightly forward. Okay, everybody good here? We're moving into Sunbird. So just starting with Sunbird, and remember Sunbird's a back bend, so that's going to bring lots of energy. Take your right leg up, point the toe, lift the right leg and shine your heart forward. And then bring your right knee down and bring your spine to neutral. Left leg up, pointing, lift the left leg, shine your heart forward. There's that back bend. And release, left leg down. That's the move. You could do that for the rest of the time. We're going to do some options now. Take the right leg back, lift the leg, lift the heart. Stay here or dance it down. Elbows back, down and up. Right knee down. Left leg back, lift the heart, and option, bend at the elbows, dance it down, lift up, left knee down. All right, let's come into a little child's pose before we move on with the rest of the Sunbird options. You might need to wiggle your hips just a tiny bit and then come into child's pose. Nice comfortable child's pose. You know you can have your hands forward or back. Some nice breaths here. And then float your way back to table. Okay, so moving back into the Sunbird, we're going to do Sunbird, dancing Sunbird, three-legged dog. Remember, it's all options, right? You don't have to do any one of these. Let's go ahead, right leg up, lift, shine your heart forward, and option, dance it down. Now, tuck your toes, lift into down dog, left leg up, and left knee down, right knee down. Sunbird, left side, same thing. Left leg up, shine your heart, option, dance it down, tuck your toes, lift into three-legged dog with the right leg high. Right knee down, left knee down. One more time through, very, very smooth. Sunbird, right leg left, right leg, heart shines forward. Dance it down if you want, and smoothly move into your three-legged dog with the left leg high. Oh, beautiful. Knee and knee. Okay, one more side to go. Left leg, shine forward, stay here, or dance it down. Three-legged dog, right leg up. Knee and knee. Nice. All right, let's come into downward facing dog. And then walk the feet out. Bend one knee, then the other. Press one heel down and hold. And press the other heel down and hold. Inhale and exhale. And walk feet to hands. Take that journey. Half lift. Forward fold. And float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. Okay. Is anybody feeling left behind, or is everybody comfortable how we're going? You guys all know this stuff. That's why we're doing it this way. All right. So we got the dancing Sunbird. We're doing back bends for energy. In our sun salutation, we're going to incorporate a side plank. Okay? Knee down, side plank. So come to the top of your mat, preparing for sun salutation. Feet are hip width, spine is long. And maybe as you close your eyes here, you can observe how the breath moves when you're upright. We were observing it from seated, right? Taking all those twists and turns. How is it when you're upright? Okay. And let's add a little arm work to the beginning so we can get in a little extra back bending. Inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, twist to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Here's that back bend. Elbows to waist. Shine your heart up. The head follows the heart. It doesn't throw back. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. The hands can be high, low, anywhere in between. The spine is long. Hands to the thighs. Half lift, shining that heart forward. Exhale, hands down, stepping back. Right leg, lunge back. Inhale and exhale. Whew. Taking a moment to enjoy this lunge. Wiggle around in it if you want, or just stay steady. And then come into your knee up or knee down plank. If your knees up, roll to the very tops of your toes. That'll bring you forward in space a little more. Everybody, strong chaturanga. Remember, if you start to lose your chaturanga, you need to bring your knees down. We don't want wobbly spines. Point the toes behind, okay? And we're going to have the hands. Let's come into that fingertips position we had, but take the fingers 6 inches away from the shoulders, gaze toward the mat. Cobra on ridge tops, shoulders toward the ears, down the spine. Look up, and this time we're actually using the fingertips to help and release. Okay, hands back under the shoulders. Find your way to down dog. So you might already be asking, what happened to the knee down side plank? Here it comes. Right knee down, spin open to the left. There you go. Left hand down, flow back into downward facing dog. And then left knee down, flow open to the right. Right hand down, coming into downward facing dog. And just take your journey, feet to the hands. When you get there, hands to the thighs, you half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. Yeah, and hands come heart center. And release. Okay, so we're going to be doing the side plank again, and some of you may come into a straight leg side plank. Let's come to the top of the mat here. Feel the energy. Feel what you feel and be honest with yourself about what's going on in your body right now at this part of your practice, right? Inhale and exhale. Float the arms up. Inhale. We're going to exhale, twisting to the left with long arms. Left arm back. Come center. And twist open to the right. If you went to the right first and then the left second, nothing happens. You just go a different way. Inhale the arms up. Reach up and then nice and big elbows to the waist. Shine your heart up. Keep your head in line with your spine, not dropping back. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Half lift, shining the heart forward. Hands down. This time the lunge starts on the left. Left leg back. Hang out in your lunge. You can wiggle your hips around. Do whatever feels good. Yep. And then step back, knees up or down for your plank. So remember, if you start losing your chaturanga and your knees are up, you need to bring your knees down. Okay, and if your knees are up, you might want to roll onto the very tips of your toes and come down. Nice and strong. Everybody's chaturanga is strong. Knees up or down, chaturanga is strong. Now take your hands once again to fingertips and take your feet as wide as your mat. So the feet are the same, with the legs are wide as the mat. The hands are 6 inches off the mat, 6 inches away from the shoulders. Gaze is down and lift into cobra on ridge tops with wide legs and release. Can we do that one more time? Cobra on ridge tops, legs wide and release. Make a pillow with your hands, bend your knees and rock side to side. So these back bends are building that energy, but remember, it's a useful, settled energy. It's not this whole scattered, don't know what to do next. Bring the legs down. We're coming into downward facing dog. Make your way to down dog. All right. So let's go ahead and bring the, let's start on the left. So take your left knee down and spin open to the right. And if you want to, extend your bottom leg. Okay, so you're in a straight leg side plank. If that's not feeling good, bring your knee back down. Okay, come back around, lift into downward facing dog. Good, inhale and exhale. Now bring your other knee down, spin into a knee down side plank. I'm going to go the same way so I can watch you. And if you want, extend your bottom leg. Release, take it back and up to down dog. Inhale and exhale. And journey your feet to your hands. Take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. All right, how'd that go? Everybody good? All right, let's shake out the wrists, those side planks that can involve the wrists. Make sure you move your fingers. Make sure the arms are happy. Inhale and exhale. So with the feet hip-width distance apart, close your eyes for a moment, find mountain pose, get very settled. All right. And we're going to work on our balance, so we're going to work on tree, but we're going to move into tree from a high crescent lunge. Yeah, so from one balance to another, yay, all right. Sure, that's more than you thought, more than you bargained for when you asked for tree tonight, isn't it? Yeah, all right, so we're at the top of our mat. Okay, you're all practiced yogis, this is not going to be anything big. The feet are hip-width distance apart, and let's get real grounded here. Finding center, centering on the feet. Okay, so 3 things for great balance: a firm foundation. We're just built that, lifting the knees even more into the thighs, so the legs are super strong. Steady gaze, find a spot that isn't moving, and then inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All right, we're going to put the hands on the hips for a moment. Slide your right foot back to the toes and bend your left knee. So high crescent lunge starting here, right? The thighs are isometrically heading toward each other. The arms go long, 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 and they come up. All right, if you're not happy in this balance, bring your heel down so you'll be in Warrior One instead. Inhale and exhale. So we're in high crescent lunge here. And now we're going to pull the knee through, take it out to the side, and come into tree. Step back to high crescent lunge. And again, as you bring your arms down, pull the knee through and into tree. And release to standing. Okay, that was a little shocker to throw at you, wasn't it? Let's try that on the other side. Okay, you don't have to do it that way. If that just doesn't work for you, then there's a couple of things you could do. You could go high crescent lunge into tree with your toes touching, right? Or you could high crescent lunge, come to standing, come to tree, if that movement is just not right for you right at this moment. Okay, here we go. Left leg back, left heel lifts, right knee bends. We move into high crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale. And then pulling the knee through as the hands start to come to the heart, coming into tree. Stepping back, another high crescent lunge. Ooh. And coming into tree. Left knee through, take it into tree. Yeah. And then come back to standing. All right. Can you identify one side that was more challenging than the other? Raise your hand if you feel like one side was more of a challenge. Okay, we're going to do that again. You're going to use your more challenging side. And if you didn't have a more challenging side, then just pick a side at random that you want to work a second time. Okay? All right, so ready? Challenge side or just random choice. Hands to the hips and step back. Ooh, this is definitely my challenge side. Okay, one leg back, high crescent lunge, arms overhead. And as you bring your hands down, step into your tree. Back to high crescent lunge. And step forward and release. All right. Aren't you glad you asked for tree tonight? Shake it out. There you go. All right. You guys have been working hard, so we're going to cool things down a little bit. Let's come into our, we'll sit down, dog. Warrior two. Legs are wide. Toes point to the right. Right toes point to the right. Left toes are in at an angle. And let's make sure we've got the alignment correct with the right knee over the right ankle, tracking through the center of the toe. Shoulders are over hips. Arms are in line with the shoulders. Beautiful. Gazes past the right fingertips. Inhale and exhale. From here, we're just going to straighten the front leg and bring the hands to heart center. Look forward. And then open back into warrior two. Good. Straighten, look forward. Open warrior two, gazing past those right fingertips. One more time, straighten, look forward. Open warrior two, hold here. Nice. Feel the strength of warrior two and the gentleness of warrior two at the same time. And then bring your hands to your heart, gaze forward, all 10 toes forward with a nice long spine, folding from your hip creases. Just come halfway forward. Hello, hamstrings. There you are. Inhale and exhale. Spine is long. You're not looking up, you're gazing toward the mat because your head is in line with your spine. And then just lift. If your legs need a break, give them one. Otherwise, just turn your left toes forward, right toes in at an angle, and start setting up for your warrior two. Notice what happens when you go into warrior two. Shoulders over hips, left knee in line with the center of the left foot, gazing past the left fingertips. So since we're holding here, here's a nice trick to make sure the shoulders are settled. Just flip your palms up and notice how your shoulders tend to gravitate a little farther down the back. And now, without moving anything else, just flip your palms back down. Okay, straightening the left leg, bring the hands to the heart, look forward, open back up, warrior two. And just move through that 2 or 3 more times on your own breath, just feeling. Until you are ready to land in warrior two, staying here, calmly gazing past your left fingertips. When you get here, feel the lightness. See if you can still feel those shoulders down the back instead of hunched up. All 10 toes forward, hands to heart center. Inhale, folding from the hip creases, either a little bit, halfway, or even bringing the hands all the way down. Maybe they don't even touch, maybe they don't touch the mat, and you bring them to your legs, but keep your spine long. Keep your head in line with your spine, so it's one long line. And then bring your hands back up to your hips. Return to half lift here, halfway lifted, and come the rest of the way up. And you're going to either take a big step to the top of your mat if that's where you are, hop your feet together if you like that, or heel toe them together. Come to the top of your mat. Now we're heading down, so if you wanted a pillow or a blanket, an eye pillow, something for when we're down, take a moment to grab that. Otherwise, we're here in mountain pose, scanning the body. And as you scan, the body might say, look, I gotta move, and so move. All right. Maybe this is a good time for a ragdoll. So let's take the feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Knees and hips are soft. Arms float up. Exhale, float down. And you can hold onto your elbows and move around, or you can let your arms dangle and move around. Just looking for stuck spaces, let things move. And then we're going to bring everything back to center, bring the hands to the hips. Lengthen the spine, so we want a long spine as we lift halfway up. Take a breath and lift the rest of the way up. Long spine, and maybe even feel your glutes squeezing, engaging here. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat and find your way, either down dog, or if you're ready for table, come to table. Down dog or table. And then let your hips move around. Knees maybe side to side if you're in down dog. Good. And then bringing the knees down, sit off to the side and find your way to seated mountain pose with Dhyana Mudra. Okay, so establish the legs and the sit bones. Establish a long spine. See if you remember Dhyana Mudra. Okay, so you've got your left palm face up, right palm resting on top. Thumbs are touching. maybe while we're sitting here focusing, focus on what is one thing that happened in your practice tonight that either surprised or delighted you. In your practice, it's about you. It's not about, oh, we did this move. It's about, what did you do? All right, and then soften everything up, shake it out. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, and let's roll down to the mat. All right, we're going to have the hands by our sides here, the knees bent, the heels close to the hips. And we're going to do some rolling bridges with a glute squeeze. So your hands are down by your hips. Exhale. Now your arms start to come up, up, up. And as they start to come behind you, the hips lift, squeezing the glutes as you come up. And then slowly and carefully roll down, extending the spine so you're pressing your hips toward your heels as you come down. Long, long spine. And then roll up arms. Glutes are engaged, the thighs are magnetizing toward each other isometrically. They don't touch, but they stay the same distance apart, knee hip width distance. And then slowly, slowly, slowly extend your spine, rolling down. Hands come down, hips come down. And then take it back up one more time and stay there this time. So come into your bridge, stay in your bridge, and with your hips still lifted, slowly bring your hands down by your side. Walk your heels in if you want to lift higher. Maybe start sending the shoulder blades toward each other. Some people clasp their hands underneath their hips. Inhale and exhale. And release. Make space in between your shoulder blades and slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. We're going to let the spine be in neutral right now and just open and close the fingers and wiggle them. Rotating the wrists one direction and the other. Just giving the spine time to relax. Inhale and exhale. Now hands down by your side and take your legs up. The knees could stay bent or the legs could go straight. Basically Viparita Karani here, right? Legs up the wall. And we're going to point and flex the feet. And circle the ankles one direction and the other. And then release your feet to the mat. Let the knees gently open and close. Little butterfly wing things happening here. If you want to spend a moment in Baddha Konasana with the knees open, do that. Otherwise, just stay here with your knees bent and let your head move side to side. And bringing the head back to center, scan your body from head to toe. See if anything needs to move. Are there any movements that you were hoping to make that we didn't make? Just incorporate them right now. Keep everything kind of mild here though, right? Scanning the body from head to toe, finding that alignment and that ease that you can settle into for final relaxation, whether your legs are straight or your knees are bent. Final relaxation position, inhale through the nose and slowly exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and And slowly and gently exhale through the mouth. Release yourself onto the earth, being in your final relaxation. Begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, extend your arms long, extend your legs. And then as you exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. And find your way over to a side, helping yourself back up to a nice, easy seat. Remembering that engagement of the core and the long spine, bring your hands to your heart. Turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit. Thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.